Okay, there it is. Yeah, oh, it's back. Okay, good. Hey, you guys, if you ever see me do announcements on Sunday, I always skip the icebreakers. So for some reason, they're asking me to do the icebreaker for all of you here this morning. So that's really exciting. So this is the prize for the icebreaker game. Bottoms up, everyone. You're going to get to win this mug with some lollipops. So this is a real competition. I don't know. Raise your hand if you've ever played Kahoot before. Yeah, if you're at this church, you've probably played. We do it a lot. So, but if you don't know, go ahead and scan that QR code. It's going to take you to a landing page, and you're going to put in the code 532772. This is how you join the game. And if you're a little on the fence about joining the game, don't be. It's all in good fun. The worst thing that can happen is you get something wrong, and everybody laughs at you and makes fun of you. It's a low bar. It'll be fine. Nobody will laugh at you and make fun of you.
How many people were at Focus? Raise your hand. Okay, I think that means you might do well at the game. Is that what that means, Melanie?
Does that mean you didn't
No,
read?
never mind. It doesn't mean that.
It's not the same questions. It's not the same questions. That's good. Okay, so we're waiting for players, so it looks like nobody's in yet. It is small. If Oh, this isn't a live. Oh, yeah. Okay. So we're just going to trust that everybody's getting in. And we'll see the live footage in just a minute. Okay, yeah. All right, cool. Okay, I'm thinking we're going to start the game in 10 seconds. Do you think you'll all be in 10 seconds? Hey, did we just change the game code?
Step like this.
Okay, this is your new game code. So log out of whatever you were in. Here's your QR code. Here's your game code. And this will be live. Wow, you guys are really creative with your names. We've got PB&J, Trizzle Fizzle. Is that Trey Ford? How did I know? Oh, McCabe Mom, Aaron, we see you. The Swan. Who's the Swan? Oh, Aaron Swanley, that's a good one. Yeah. Wow, way to go, you guys. I know who Eastside Pastor is. He's a Pokemon Go legend and an ex-legend, so we know who that is. Who's Who's that? Oh, nice. I should have known. All right, it looks like we're slowing down. It looks like everybody's in. No, not yet. Okay. They're still working on it. Oh, look, there's Trizzle Fizzle again. Who's Hammock Chickens? Hammock Chickens. Who's that? Okay. I like I'm at the church. That's creative. Okay, is everyone in? We're gonna start in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thanks, Clayton. Thanks for that countdown. All right, I think we're ready to go. Yeah? Okay, ready to go. All right, so it's going to have a question for you, and you're going to put the answer in on your phone. Don't shout it out. We don't want to ruin it for everyone else. Don't want to give everyone a leg out. You're going to answer the following questions. Engage. How many baptisms have we celebrated? Multiple choice, folks. Since August, how many baptisms? Hey, don't shout it out. Don't ruin the answer. Okay, the correct answer was 19. And 11 of you got that right. How many baptisms did we celebrate this morning? 3. That's a lot. So 3 today. That's something to celebrate. Oh, look at that scoreboard. I don't know why some people have a higher score than others when there's been one question. Speed. Okay, the faster you answer, the more points. Okay, that's good. Good to know. How many new visitors have we had on Sunday mornings? Since August. All of this is since August. Which was Focus, yes. Okay, you can see the correct answer. 151 to 200. 12 of you got it right. Wow, you guys, ye of little faith, everyone over here. Golly. All right, let's see that leaderboard. Who's winning now? I didn't see Trizzle Fizzle up there on the last one. Let's see if he's catching up. Wow. Is that fair? All right, what % of first-time visitors came back a second time? It's been green both times, so let's see if it's going to be the green one again. Wow, the majority of you got it right. Good job. 26 to 30%. That's a really good return rate, you guys. And I'm told that we've actually been a little higher than that recently, so way to go. You guys must be really welcoming. Who's that? Who's up at the top there? S. No, nobody, they don't want to reveal their identity. That's okay, that's okay. I don't blame you. I wouldn't reveal it either. All right, what do we got next? How many new members have we added? That's a tough one. $16 new members since Focus. Only 12 of you got it right. Oh, Plextaria, you're off the leaderboard now. How many benevolence applicants have visited on Sundays? Zach Weiss says a lot. I heard him out there. A lot. Oh, the correct answer, 28. That is a lot. That's the most option. Way to go. If KC fan is Melanie, I don't know if that's very fair. It's not. It's not her. Oh, it's Craig Kelso. Should have known. How many people have joined community group this year? Wow. These have all been numbers questions. Interesting. Somebody likes numbers. Oh, very few of you got that correct. The answer was 56 or more. And hey, if you haven't joined a community group, we have this awesome community group board that Melanie put together here in the back next to the restrooms. Yeah, so check that out if you haven't had a chance. There's info on community groups to join. Maybe if you're tired of yours and you want to find a new one, that's your place. Not that that would ever happen. Oh, Trizzle's on the board. He's there. All right, let's see. What do we got now? Which pastor's birthday is today? There is no excuse for getting this wrong, folks. No excuse. Ooh, finally some pictures. Wow, these are real winners. I don't even recognize some of you. Oh, 3 of you got it wrong. Oh, wow. Well, hey, in honor of Pastor Chris Fleckenpohl's birthday, I get to lead you all in singing happy birthday to him. So come on up here. On up here. All the way up. Up here. Yes, you're never too young to celebrate. Happy 48th birthday. All right. On 3, we're going to sing. 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Chris. Happy birthday to you. Are you passing those out now? All right. Grab a cupcake, but you're risking losing if you take the time to grab your cupcake.
That was it.
That's it. Shuggins won. Way to go.
Wait. Who is this? KC fan.
Oh, no.
KC fan. Greg, you got to come up and get your prize. It says bless on it. It's pretty expensive.
Yeah.
Very expensive. It was chiseled, hand chiseled by Chris.
This is not a beer mug, I'm told. Root beer mug, that's right.
Okay, so if you guys noticed, right, the Coot game was all numbers, right? So that's all stuff that has happened in our church since August. It's exciting to kind of remember what's kind of going on, so we decided to kind of try to take a game and use it for the intent of kind of sharing some of those numbers with you that you might have been interested in. But I'm going to go ahead and just quickly, I want to just move into just the beginning of Refocus for us. We're going to talk about our staff, and we're going to give you a bunch of different updates and different things. But I wanted to come up here and kind of give you guys a staff update. And there's a slide for that. I feel like I need a clicker. I need a clicker. Like naked without a clicker. You got it over there?
We have a new clicker.
Saul, you can click it for me. Real quick. There we go. Click it one more time. So this is our staff. Here's a picture of our staff. Recently, we had a staff picture. Everyone can if you want. Yeah. It's really good. This is our staff here at the church. I want to talk about 3 people just individually as far as some changes that are going on. The first person is Melanie. Sweet. Person is Melanie. So this is Melanie McMore, everybody. You could probably have seen her. You know her. She's done a lot of things within the church, worn a lot of different hats and different events, different things that we do. She's kind of had her hand in almost everything. But she is moving into an operations director role when it comes to connections ministry and everything going on Sunday morning, as well as like all the people that come visit our church. It's now Melanie's role and her job to connect with them beyond Sunday morning and help them get connected into our church. And so you'll see if you haven't seen her already, or if you've invited people to the church, she's the person that's going to be reaching out to them with her team and connecting with them. And so she's getting she has had some more responsibilities as of late, and she's killing it. She's doing a really great job with connecting and assimilating people into ministry, okay? How many people went to the gala, or Giala, I don't know, whatever, the Benevolence Gala? It was a great time for us. It was it was the second one, I guess, officially. But I personally think it blew the first one out of the water. No offense about the first one, but second one was great. I really loved it. I got to go to that one this time. Zach has done an incredible job with benevolence. You guys don't get to see everything that happens because the nature of benevolence in general, right? We get to share those stories with you and celebrate those stories with you. But Zach is moving into more of a benevolence director role he this year. So based on what has happened last year, it's all the growth that we've seen, the funds that have come in. It has become quite the weight for any one person to do it. And so Zach has picked up that mantle, and he's continuing that effort this next year. And so he is like full gung-ho benevolence in our church. So if you have anybody in need, we have funds to meet those needs. We encourage you to send them, get with Zach, and they'll be met with, loved on, prayed for, and sent through that process. And we'll meet those needs tangibly as we feel led to do, okay? So Zach's going to be doing more and more of that this next year. Cool? As well as planning another gala is like the Grinch 3 times bigger, you know? Yeah, okay. All right. Holland. You guys know Holland. Holland, we get Holland twice a week, right?
Yeah, that's right. We get it twice a week.
So now his Pokemon Go stuff.
Right there.
He tore up East Austin, and now he's up here, and he gets to catch more.
Yeah. Caught them all.
Something like that. I don't even know if you still play it. Do you still play it?
He still plays.
Not really.
He's kind of retired, but he almost got kicked off and banned because.
With that said, I don't ever see him playing Pokemon Go when he's up here. He's working hard and doing a bunch of things. And so we're glad to have Holland even more and, forever. I love it. Having just another pastor on staff, someone with as much of his wisdom and his just input in different things has been really incredible. Having him in staff meetings and working with Chris and doing everything from podcast to sermon planning and preaching prep and all that good stuff. And so there's a plethora of things that he's doing, but just wanted to remind you guys that Holland is here. I know that he talked a lot at Focus, but if you guys weren't there, then that's not something that you probably know all that much, okay? And this is how I like to view our staff. When I think of our staff, I don't think of like the nice picture. I think of Cody getting his leg up that high. I don't know what's possible. But this is a quick staff update for you, and Chris is going to talk to you guys about the counseling efforts here.
Okay. All right. Hey, guys, just want to, as we keep going with this, the next thing I want to talk about just real quick is our counseling ministry. One of the things that we wanted to make sure that we did is we never wanted anyone to ever have to pay for it. And so we were like trying to figure out how we could do that well. And it turns out when you make it for people who you don't know that they're taking it, you don't know who you're paying for, and it can get really awkward. So we've tried to work through that. And so what we've kind of done now is a members first. We're kind of like, I don't know, a Wells Branch first approach. We're going to take care of our members first for counseling. Okay, so you have a shepherding elder. Actually, let me explain that in a second. Our 2 counselors they're both here tonight, which I'm really excited about. Haley Hangst, everybody right here. And Michael McGinnis is right back there. All right, and so once we've opened these floodgates, usually the money runs out like instantly. However, we do have the counseling fund has been significantly blessed. And so we're trying to figure out how not to run out of money so we can keep doing counseling. So our strategy is going to be this, all right? Because we love Haley, we love Michael, we really trust them. They've been so gracious with us. And you're now an LPCA, right? LPCA, so that's a big deal. So way to go. Yeah, so what's that? A licensed professional counselor associate, which is really wild, yeah. And she's at Hill Country Bible Church, our grandmother church, and we love Hill Country. And so, we're big fans. And Michael McGinnis obviously is a member of our church, and we're a big fan of him. So the way this is going to work, A lot of you here may never use the counseling services, which is fine, but you'll probably be able to communicate it to others, okay? So here it is. It's first, phase 1, contact your shepherding elder, all right? So if you don't know who your shepherding elder is, either A, you're not an actual member, and we would love to challenge you to become a member of Wells Branch Community Church, all right? 2, that shepherding elder is going to talk to me, and we're going to decide how many sessions that we're going to pay for, and then we turn it back over to you. Then I let them know, I let the counselor know outside of you letting the counselor know, which makes it really fun to play that game, but it's good. All right, so I will contact them directly, but then also you personally contact them directly. What happened? I lost my powers. All right, there we go. Then you personally contact them separately to set up counseling, okay? And you have all this info is on our website at wellsbranchchurch.com/counseling. And so if you forget all this, no worries, that's fine. If you're not a member, all right, or if you know someone's not a member, that doesn't mean we're like thumbs down on you. They don't have a specific person to talk to, so have them come talk to me, or any elder is fine. In fact, we've done that with a couple people that are just outside and aren't ready to take that step yet. So that's totally fine, but we're kind of thinking with a member-first mindset, which I think the last time I checked, we're at a really healthy spot in our counseling fund, so please don't feel like it's like you're like stealing somebody else's thing. We're excited for you to get help, and it's a real blessing for us. All right, speaking of that, the other thing, we mentioned community groups before. One of the things that I wanted you to see, Melanie did a great job of putting over here on our bulletin board, which is brand new, by the way. Not only do we have all the open community groups, there's more community groups than that there, but those are the open ones. And then, so if you don't see yours up there, that's because we're keeping it incognito because you've asked us to. And then, secondly, you've got member businesses. So if you got your business card, like if you clean stuff, Pablo, put your business card up there so people can go get cleaned by you, I guess. Cars, right, yeah. Yeah, cars. He cleans cars, all right, yeah. He actually did my truck. It was really great. Anyway, sorry. And then the other thing up there is upcoming events. So make sure that you check that out as you head to the bathroom. That's a great spot to go. Pause. Or if you're waiting for somebody in the bathroom, that's a great thing to stare at. Okay, I just wanted to let you know, and just give it up for Melanie, who put that all together today. So she did a great job. So yeah, she makes things happen when I have really great ideas. Okay, all right, the next thing is I need Craig to come on down. Yeah, and actually all the elders come on down. We're going to get you up on stage, and you have to have a stole, which we'll talk about here in a second. I'm not going to let you get away with not putting a stole on, because I look ridiculous. You have to as well. All right. All right. All right, here you go. Okay, go ahead, Craig. I got your clicker. Switch them.
And I can see that.
No, you're good. He's good. He's good. Ish.
What did I do? I just grabbed it. Thank you.
That's Tara, everybody. That's
Tara.
What are you, a graphic designer? Do you look at details? Well, I wish we would have picked these out beforehand. Go ahead and run the next slide. This will be interesting. I hope you guys can, I hope you guys can follow these numbers, which you're not going to be able to. So, yeah, that was probably something we should have cleaned up beforehand.
Could you just put the Google slide up? Is that possible?
Just put up the finance and building slide update. I'll just run through the numbers for you. That's going to be easier than trying to look and see all this. So, all right. So in our general fund, this is through January of this year, our income is $510,135. And if that's for the first 6 months, so if we were to double that, that'll be over $1 million for this year in our budget funds, which is great. Good, it got all cleaned up. All right, which is great because we budgeted for $963,000. So we're already ahead of the game. Keep it up, great job. You can see our budget was $484,000 so far. So we are $25,000 over budget at this point, which is great. And our expenses, we've actually kept our expenses under a bit. So we budgeted $494. 857 through the first 6 months, and we've spent 477. So $17,000 under. So that's the one time you want to see that negative. That's actually a good negative there. But if you take the 510 minus the 477, that gives us $32,667 in our general fund, which is excellent for us. Which we've got our full cash reserve at 101,000. And just so you guys know, all of the other restricted funds, all the other funds we've been putting into T-bills. We've talked about this numerous times to earn more interest. So we've been earning about between 7.5 to 9,000, depending on what the current rate is for the T-bills. So we put all that money, all the facility money into that. And so we've been moving about $2.3 million. Thank you, Nicole, wherever she is at, for doing that and making sure that that is rolling over and tracking all that. Thank you so much. I don't know. I can't even.
Where's
Way over
Nicole?
there.
She
She's
is.
hiding in the back. Okay, hiding back there.
in the back.
Sorry, I was looking for her at a table. I apologize for that. And so that is kind of gives you a sense of where kind of our money is sitting. We have probably about $120,000 in about $210,000 in our checking account right now. A little bit more in our savings account, but it's all tied up in these other funds. If you go to the next slide, which we've got, we skipped a slide, but I had benevolence. We still got $120,000 in benevolence. About $112,000 in church planning. The facility fund is at $2.7 million, and then our missions fund is $58,000. The counseling that Chris was just talking about, we have $17,500 in there, so we have some money for counseling. So we've got, so there is money there for counseling. There we go. One of the things I did want to mention is, so during the gala, during that time, we did say that all the funds given to benevolence would go to benevolence. Well, with bringing Zach on full time, we did that in January, and not having the salary in there. This year, we are paying Zach out of the benevolence fund, so we were giving him a full-time salary. So I just wanted to make you aware of that, so that some of that money will be used, but the majority, almost all of it, I would say the majority of it will be going definitely to those that are needing the funds. And we're going to revisit that next January with him as well and see what that looks like depending on what we raise in the next Thanksgiving back and during that time. And then hopefully, eventually, we hope to have this position because we have so much need in this area and are reaching so many people. I mean, the folks that we've had coming here, that we would be able to pay with a salary down the road. So we're hoping to do that. We're praying that that'll happen. Just one other thing, one other slide that I have is on Revive the Stones. So we had the original, here, actually there are two slides. The first slide, this is what we've spent so far. So remember I said we had 2.739 in the account? Well, we've already spent, this is in addition to that. We've spent $500,000 up to this point. The majority being architects. We've had a couple of starts and stops. We've had to redesign, and our first architect was not able to come up with the design that worked, and so we've moved on to a second one. We've got a great plan. We're ready to go with the plan. As a matter of fact, we've signed the construction contract with A-Day. So we have the contract. Sorry, I'm stealing your thunder at this point, but I'm doing the finance part. Sorry, let me get back into my part. And then, so you can see all the different things we spent. So we have spent about $500,000 so far on this project, and we hope to be able. We've got all of our permits now, I believe. The reason we had to pay property taxes in 2022, that's the first year that we had it, and it was still in the name of the gentleman who donated it to us, so we ended up paying the property taxes that year when he deeded the land over to us. So I figure $12,130 is a pretty good exchange for an $1,800 property, so or $1.8 million property. So yeah, I think that we got a pretty good return on our investment there. So, and then one last slide just to kind of give you a sense of where we were on the loan status right now. Is we've got we're asking for a $3.4 million loan. I made it real generic here, but I'm happy to tell you that the folks that we're working with, they're First Citizens Bank, and then we've had 2 nonprofits. One is the Church Development Fund, CDF, and they've been kind of talking with us for several years now. And then the third one just kind of fell in our lap. It's amazing how God works sometimes. In that, so Tara was talking with a lady. She volunteers at a place called Rock where they do horse therapy, and she also does some marketing, helps with their marketing, and was talking to their marketing person. And Tara was just talking about how busy our lives were and how I'm working on this and another project. She goes, and her friend goes, "Oh, you should talk to my guy." So he's with the Texas Methodist Foundation, and so they fund not only Methodist churches, but they fund churches all over the state, all over the country, actually, and it can be non-denominational. Had the drop-down box, and so just a matter of having that conversation and making that connection. I had one phone call, and he's like, "Yeah, you guys should apply." So we have, and they're the 6%, so they actually are below prime, and so they would be the best option for us, so we're working with them. So we've got 3 irons in the fire. We actually had another bank reach out to us. We didn't reach out to them, and I haven't even talked to the loan team. This happened this weekend. I haven't even talked to the loan team, and so they're willing to talk to us about that. So we've got all of our different information together, so we're able to put that out there. So we're working as quickly as we can to try and secure the loan so that we can go ahead and start building. We hope. Well, I'll leave that to you to take over now. So that's all I have. Does anybody have any questions on? We'll save those till after. If you have any questions, please find me afterwards.
There you go. Yeah, thanks, Craig. Hey, honestly, the amount of work that Craig Kelso has put on, Dave Sheffield, Leslie Ray, Nicole Troop, Megan Ford, and Drew Bohan. Megan Ford has been playing the role in the loan team and the building team, so she's at all these meetings, just giving her time, giving her expertise, giving her energy. Everybody is playing a vital role in this, and it's been a wild ride. I've been so grateful to not have to think that hard, because it's like I didn't go to school for like loans. Like I'm not certified in any of that. I just go, which one's the best, Megan? And she'll say, yeah. Oh, well, thank you. And then ultimately it becomes like a thing of like all of this work is poured out. So I want us to make sure that we don't miss the opportunity to really thank everybody. And of course, Curtis Carpenter, my father-in-law, I got to give it up for him too. So yeah, hey guys, thank you guys so much for all the amount of work that you guys have put in. I can't tell you, I just don't have enough brain power to go there. So I'm so grateful and honored. So the big question is when. So we're waiting for the phone call, email, something next week. We are good to go with the contractor. I've signed on the dotted line. They are ready to go like ASAP. And so right now it's just a matter of when the loan comes in and closes. It's like usually like 60 days out from that moment. And so then that's when we'd have a groundbreaking ceremony. So it's like bated breath this week. So you guys should be praying. Be praying intensely, be praying like direct those prayers to the Lord about this, because we've been working so hard, and by we, I mean those happy few who have been going to finance and loan meetings that go well beyond church in the afternoon to the evening. So thank you guys. All right, I want to talk briefly about our vision and message here that I really want to lean into. I have one verse that really kind of came to my heart as I was thinking about where do we need to center our hearts and minds around. And it's simply this: in your hearts, revere Christ the Lord. 1 Peter 3:15. But in your hearts, revere Christ as Lord. Always be prepared to give an answer to everyone who asks. So here's what I want you to see. It's like there should be, in your time with God, revering him, preparing to give an answer to everyone who asks you, to give the reason for the hope that you have. But do this with gentleness and respect. Now, as I was contemplating that, I couldn't think of anything better. If I could encapsulate what's been on my heart this year, is we need to have a time where our hearts revere Christ. If I could challenge you, and I think this is probably the group that this I'm preaching to the choir. But having a time with the Lord individually where you are before God, and then from out of that, he is preparing you. Because he's saying, like, this is out of your reverence, out of your deep devotion for God. I want you to be ready. And so I was thinking, like, how could we best challenge our people here to understand the role of our church moving forward? And that is for us to train. And so how could we be prepared? So I have Robert Sass. Where are you at? Where's Robert? Robert, there he is. So Robert, come on up. I want Robert to lead us in this a little blessed discussion, and we're going to talk more about it as Robert comes up to share. I don't know.
Okay. All right. Who here are table leaders? Raise your hand. Table leaders. All right. Good. If everybody would get this sheet in front of you, it should be in the center of the table. If you guys would grab one, it should be one for each person. Yeah, that's it. Okay. As you look at that sheet, how many of y'all have never seen this before? Okay, just a few. That's good. So this is a sheet that the staff and elders, we go through this just about every month, and it serves as a good purpose for us to kind of recalibrate and find some accountability around Bless, which is a strategy of relational evangelism. Okay. So let's do this. Let's start. You see on the top of it, evangelistic temperature. If you guys would take a moment, look at that, read over the 4 different categories from 1 to 10. Put an X where you believe your spiritual temperature is in evangelism. Do it really quickly. Yeah. Chris. Okay, the object of putting taking your temperature is not that you have to be a 7 or an 8. If you're a 2, the object is you get to a 3. If you're a 7, your object is to get to an 8 over time as you grow in your evangelistic temperature. So put an X where you believe you are today at this moment. Okay. All right. So just hold on to that for right now, and we might be sharing that a little bit later through the table leaders discussion, leading that conversation. Okay, now drop down to the unchurched people. You see an acronym called Francis. Now, it's not that you need to put a person in each of those categories. It could be 3 neighbors that maybe you have not even met yet. If you believe God's placed them in your life, Acts 17 says God's placed us in a time and a place for the purposes of reaching people with the gospel of Jesus Christ. So think about just take 2 or 3 people and think of them. They could be co-workers, they could be ex or past classmates, could be, it says down there, enemies. I would say for an enemy, for me, it would be like maybe a neighbor I knew, a guy who was maybe an alcoholic that's really obnoxious, and I just don't really care to be around him. Something like that. So just wide open, think of who that might be that God's placed in your life to reach with the gospel. Take a few minutes, 2 or 3 people. If if anybody has any questions, ask your table leader. Table leader, if you can't answer it, Chris is roaming around. Catch Chris. He'll answer any question you have. Oh, yeah. Who's still thinking about a few people? Who's still thinking? Okay. Everybody got 2 or 3 people? Okay. You got some, Pablo? Okay. All right. Let's move on. Let's move over to the category that says bless. Bless is just an acronym of the 5 life patterns that Jesus and his disciples practice on a consistent basis. And so we take that acronym and we turn it into a strategy, which is relational evangelism, which is the most effective. And so if we start out at begin with prayer, do we have we have QR code, correct? Yep. Okay. On that QR code, I would want each of y'all to click on that QR code. On that code, there's some suggested ways you can pray for yourself and for the person that is on your list. Okay, so do that. It's the first thing on top of that document. Prayer is probably the most vital thing that we have to be praying for each and every day. I'd encourage that very strongly. Next one is listen. Ask questions that help the transition. If we're listening, then that presupposes that we're asking good questions. And on that same QR code, there's some good questions that are on the bottom of that you could kind of think through and possibly ask for a transition into spiritual things. Eat. For some reason, when we get, I was thinking the other day, I have all kinds of lunches with not yet believers. And there's something about eating across the table, face to face, and you're eating. There's some kind of chemicals that go on in the brain when you're filling your stomach with good food. And it just conduces, it's conductive for a great conversation. People are a little bit more comfortable, more open to talking about deeper things and opening their heart. So eating with them is very, very important. Next one is serve them or ask for their help to serve you. That's important because, we oftentimes as Christians, we're always having to serve people. But to ask them to help you, it kind of levels the playing field with relationships. So it's really important. If you have a need, don't hesitate to ask them to help you. And it helps to invest in the relationship. The other one, or the last one, is share your story and the good news of Jesus Christ and invite a response. And we use our testimony, and 3 circles is what we train to. And if you need help in that area, we have a laundromat ministry that we're doing right now is phenomenal to be able to share your story. So I would be up here at 5:30 on Mondays. You let me know whether it's one or your whole community group. I will come up here and spend time 1 hour with you to develop your story and to practice 3 circles, and then we would go to the laundromat and pray about an opportunity to share your story or the 3 circles.
And did you just lead someone to Christ this past
week? We led a guy named Michael Wu, who we met a couple weeks ago, and he came to church last week. He didn't make it today, but he and I are meeting now. We're doing discipleship, so we've got, within a month, we've had several people come visit the church. We've had one come to faith, and last week was our best night. We had incredible interest in the gospel. Had 4 or 5 people say they wanted to come to church. None of them came. That's okay. That happens. But if you guys want to try and build your story, go out and share it, this is one of the best venues, best ways to do that. And I would have great joy if you guys would meet me down here at 5:30 on Mondays. That would be great. Just let me know. Okay? All right, next, what we're going to do is go to the middle section, discern tips for your next step. So It's trust, interest, pain points, and spiritual truth. That's an acronym. That can be very linear right at first, right up front, because you want to build trust first, and that takes time, spending time with them in the interest that they're in or in what you're in if they're interested in coming over to you. And that's just a block of time. Some people you can develop trust really quickly, depending on how relational you are and what you're doing. And then some people it takes a long time. I'm having lunch with a gentleman, Ray, who's a Chinese gentleman. He's 77. And I've been going to lunch with him almost every week for a year and a half. And we're just now starting into some spiritual conversations. So it takes time. So hang in there. And after the trust and interest, there's pain points and spiritual truth. The pain points is really important that you lead out in that you share your own pain points. That opens the door for how you overcome them, and that, of course, is through your faith in Jesus. And so that opens the door for them to share theirs and kind of just walk them through what that might look like in a faith in Christ. So, and then as you develop your relationship, pain points and spiritual truth just kind of bounces back and forth. So with that, does anybody have any questions for your table leaders about this process? No? Okay. All right. So what we're going to do right now is in your tables, I want y'all to be, to share through this question is, what are your barriers? Take to mind the names you put on your sheet here. What are your barriers in beginning to develop a relationship with them and eventually perhaps sharing the gospel with them? There's no time limit, obviously, but what might those barriers be? It could be, I mean, for me, it's oftentimes just my selfishness or whatever. I want to, protect my own time at times. Whatever it may be open about sharing that, and then the table leaders will share theirs, I hope, first. And then at the end of our time, which will be in about, say 10 minutes, they will pray for the table leaders. And so I'll give you a cue on that, when to start praying. And then we'll wrap it up. Okay, y'all go. Okay, table leaders, wrap it up and begin to pray for your people at your table. Okay. The QR code, in case you need it for later, whatever, is going to be on our website, wellsbranchchurch.com/resources. So if you ever want to refer back to it, it's on our website. Thanks, guys. Thank you.
All righty. I need the elders back on up here. And we're going to continue forward, marching forward. And I know that this is something that everybody is very excited about because I've been very excited about in the process. And so Megan DeZalo has been leading our Breakaway logo team. So if you weren't familiar with the area of where our church land is, it's an area of Cedar Park called Breakaway, right there in Brushy Creek. And so we got together with a whole team and we thought long and hard, and it was like this thing of what logo will we come up with? And we did a lot of circle drawing because I like circles, and we ended up going up with what my idea was, but we got something way better. And so I wanted to share that with you. Are you guys ready? Bah! All right, so if you're wondering what it's all about, you've got the cross. We wanted to be bold because we wanted to be, and it's not that we're, yeah, and so, yes, that's good. And so the whole thing was we wanted to be clearly across. I think we've seen a lot of logos where we're like, what is that? That could be a dispensary. or a church. And so we wanted to be very clear that we were a church. And then if you see here there's a number 3. 3, like 3 circles. Or love God, love people, make disciples. Or Trinity. Boom. All right. So everything has meaning. All right. So the B also signifies it's a community church, an authentic community in Breakaway. The cross is for bold faith. And then we want to be able to serve as Christ served. And so that's kind of the idea behind that logo came. And so be excited about that. I know everyone can't wait to get your t-shirt, hat, and all the other apparel, but it's coming, all right? So get ready for that. I'm excited for it. Merch to come soon. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Joel, and he's going to talk about our sweet attire. All right, Joel.
Good evening. Thank you guys so much for taking your busy, beautiful afternoon outside, and you came back anyway. And so I am here to talk about the stole that we're wearing. And so the stole that we are wearing represents the elders that we have on staff. That we have here at the church, the governing elders. We also have some shepherding elders, which include Tate Joyner, Mr. Mark Elliott, Mr. Robert Sass, and Mr. Brad Medford. But these are the guys that are on stage with me are all governing elders, and we're all wearing a stole. And so what we are looking at, and I want to look at this passage of Scripture, and the Scripture says, the saying is trustworthy. If anyone aspires to the office, and that's what we're looking at. I am talking to the men in this room and the men that are not in this room. It is time. The time has come. Yours is to look at what is taking place on this stage this evening. Craig and myself, along with these 2 chairs right here that are empty, at the end of this year will not be a part of the governing board of elders anymore. And then there will only be 3. Jesus and the 12 were younger than most of the men who we believe are qualified in our church to be elders. And we have already requested your prayers when it comes to some things that we have going on with the loan, with the building, and I need wives, the community of this church, community groups. I need you to be in constant, intense prayer that those men whom I believe God has called out and they have said no to, that they come forward. I am going to take my stole off. Craig is going to take his off. There are 4 empty chairs. Every child that's in this room who will be a part of Breakaway and the body of believers for Jesus Christ, and the body of believers who will take this city forward, they need to see you step forward. It's not for fame or glory or anything like that. It is so that the gospel of Jesus Christ will go forward, that every man, woman, boy, and girl will hear the gospel of Jesus Christ. And we need the next set of men that will lead this church. I trust you. I believe that Craig trusts you. I believe that Robert trusts you. I believe that Mark Elliott trusts you. I think that Dave Sheffield trusts you. You are here. Come forward.
Amen. Thanks, Joel. Appreciate that. Yeah, that's a tough thing. The reality is, it looks like, it's going to be us 3 when Joel rolled back on for like the 2-year stint. And it's like we need new blood on this board. And we're always going to be challenging you, men, to step up and aspire. And if you're like, I'm not sure where I stand, be bold enough to say, like, hey, take a look at me. See if I'm ready to take that step. We would love to work with you in getting you there. Okay. Finally, that's it, guys. I want us to take this time, and we're going to pray real quick over this meeting. We're going to pray over our time, and then we're going to send everyone out. God, thank you so much for the wisdom that you've given every elder on this council, for the shepherding elder count, the greater elder council, for all of the deacons, for the staff, all the leadership, all the different committees that we have going on, all the different efforts that are all about building up the kingdom of God, pushing back against the darkness. God, you are doing something, and we are so grateful just to be a small part of it. No one here is going to probably leave a lasting legacy other than a church that moved forward into the next generation. We thank you so much for us simply being a small part of what you're doing in the greater Austin area. And so, God, I pray that churches come forth out of this body over and over and over again, that disciples will be made, that Christians would, heaven would get bigger and hell will get smaller, God, because you use this church and you use the men of this church to lead and step out in faith. And God, in a world that's crying, dying for men to be leaders, Lord, would you raise up a fire in the bosom of the soul of these men, that they would push back against the darkness, God, and we would see your power. Lord, thank you. I praise you, God, for all the children that have behaved so well, or at least played hide and seek, and we've ignored them, all that. That's great. God, I'm so grateful for that. I'm so grateful for all these families, so grateful for all these men and women, so grateful for your church. We love you, Jesus. Amen. You guys are sent. Thank you, guys.